Good evening, Lions fans, and welcome into the Walker Athletic Complex, the WAC here in Demorest, Georgia, on the campus of Piedmont University. My name is Grant Prather, bringing you Piedmont women's soccer under the lights on this beautiful Wednesday night. Tonight, the visiting LaGrange Panthers, currently ranked 6th in the CCS, are going to face off against your Piedmont Lions, who are currently tied for 2nd in the CCS. LaGrange coming in with a record of 2-4, with Piedmont boasting a CCS record of 4-1-1, so they have been dominant. Lions coming off a short road trip in which they lost to Asbury 3-2 and tied Covenant 0-0, and they're looking to return home and take a victory. Some key players to look out for today. Number 17, Paige Kluba. Team lead in points with 12, tied for the team lead in goals with 5. Also tied for the team lead in goals is number 3, Sierra Judson. We always say her name on these broadcasts. 5 goals as well. Another player to look out for on the defensive side is Kylan Rothwell, number 26. She is a key piece on defense, set pieces, clearing the ball, along with number 7, Jocelyn Maceda. Lions up in this series 29-2 all-time versus LaGrange, have won 20 in a row. Looking for another one tonight. And the LaGrange Panthers have only scored 1 goal versus the Piedmont Lions since 2016. We don't have any official starting lineups today just yet. We had an issue with a net, so prevented me from getting the starting lineup, so we'll have to call that out as we go. Hannah Thompson tonight in goal for the Lions. She had 3 saves versus Covenant. Helped out a lot by her defense early on, so defense going to look to do what they do best, which is clear the ball and give their offense some chances. Some keys to the game tonight for the Lions. Time of possession, as they usually do very well, holding on to that ball, clearing it out on defense, and staying consistent for sure. Lions tend to have a very consistent offense, looking to get an early lead, maybe put 2 or 3 goals up in the first half to cement a conference victory. Both teams lining up. LaGrange in the huddle, decked out in black and white jerseys. Piedmont in white. Important note today is it is Mental Health Awareness Day for Piedmont Lions. Coach Timmy McCormack harps on mental health for his players. As we gear up for an exciting match today, we would like to take a moment to highlight something equally important, which is, of course, mental health awareness. While an individual's mental health status is personal, treatment and support are a community effort. It is encouraging that there has been an increase in support from student athletes, administrators, and athletic staff in breaking the stigma surrounding mental health and dedicating effort to improve support systems. Mental and physical health are equally important in the overall health of a person. So during and after this match, let's be supportive of those around us, no matter what team we may cheer or play for. Piedmont will wear their home white uniform tonight, as I mentioned, but they will wear green socks, as green represents the international color for mental health awareness. Remember, mental health matters. Let's continue to support each other, listen without judgment, and break the stigma together. With me today on camera is Shaylee Gallegos as she sprints up the stairs, and both teams are ready to begin play. But first, we will step away for the national anthem. You are listening and watching to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back to the WAC. Grant Prather, Shaylee Gallegos on camera, bringing you LaGrange versus Piedmont on this beautiful Wednesday evening here in Demorest. It is a great night for soccer. 70 degrees, chill October air, at least for Georgia standards, has rolled in already. Should get below to the maybe low 60s, maybe mid 60s for my standards, hopefully low 60s. Starting lineups being announced. I do not have a list of the starting lineups, so I'm going to have to call them as they go or as they show up in the game. Piedmont, as we mentioned earlier, wearing green socks, Mental Health Awareness Day. Big day for the Lions. Coach Timmy always harps, always talks about mental health and what an important aspect it is to the game. In other news, volleyball is participating in their senior night versus Wesleyan, tied 1-1 right now, looking to take away the win. Vanessa Manzo, Jessica Sconyers, and Bryn White, the seniors for them. They've had a pretty strong year, all things considered. Lions soccer here tonight, looking to continue their strong season. As I mentioned earlier, Lions 4-1-1 in the CCS, tied for second place. That's with Covenant, who they drew 0-0. Very important game last time out. So this one going into, or before their senior day, it's going to be very important. Maryville is their opponent on senior day. Maryville sitting at 6-0, sitting undefeated. Lions, we know they have grit, we know they have toughness, so they look to go into that game with the same mentality, but also tonight they have a job to do as the final starting lineups being called. Sierra Judson, the final one called out. We know she's in the lineup. We know how huge she can be, both on the offense and defensive end. Hannah Thompson obviously in goal in pink today. Black gloves. Both teams about to enter the final huddle. Fist bumping the referees. Referees, such an important part of this game, such an underappreciated part of every game, and get a lot of hate for what they do, but man, is it a tough job. Both teams entering their final huddles, readying for action. Lions bench hyped up, as they always are. The mosh pit here at the WAC on this turf. Lions, such a deep roster. That huddle is huge. They have double-digit players, obviously, about 30-plus players. Coach Timmy loves to use that depth. We see a lot of substitutions being put in frequently by him, so we'll have to see what his game plan is today. The trumpets, Edwin Diaz's walkout song, a lot of other players as well, getting the fans here fired up. Good crowd here in Demorest for a weekday night, I should say. Looks like a good mix of Piedmont faithful and LaGrange faithful. LaGrange, of course, not too far away from Piedmont. It's about a 2-hour drive up. So the fans made their way out. See a bit of red, but of course, your favorite dark green for the Lions. We do have these starting lineups now. For LaGrange, it's Anna Wright, Marissa Oliver, Brianna White, Kendall Anderson, Charlie Hunt, Madison Decker, Sasha Stanfill, Kennedy Vowell, Mackenzie Maltezo, Kaya King, who was awarded the CCS Offensive Player of the Week honors last week, and Haley Hassan. And then Anna Wright will take it up in goal. For the Lions, Hannah Thompson obviously in goal. Peyton Gates is out there with Jocelyn Maceda. Taylor Crawford and Addie Banks will do the honors at midfield. And offensively, Savannah Jerome's out there with Allison Wickowitz. Sophie Wells and Paige Kluber are also out there. Two huge pieces for the Lions. Sophie, such an important piece in that midfield. Kylan Rothwell, as we mentioned, big player on the defensive end, sporting number 23. And Sierra Judson at 33. LaGrange getting ready to tip it off. And here we go. Game time at 6:59. A couple of seconds early here at the WAC. Lions starting with control. And this ball is going to start out early and will be a throw-in for Piedmont. Gates go over to Rothwell. Rothwell trying to track this one down. Not to be, as it's put out by LaGrange, and should be another throw-in for Piedmont. And Gates is going to take this one again. And errant throw. Rothwell offer shin. LaGrange possession. Crawford and Rothwell try to block it. They will. And will be another throw-in for LaGrange. So a lot of throw-ins early on. Slow-paced game so far, obviously. Just players trying to feel out the pace here on this Wednesday evening. Rothwell. Go over to Judson. She's got it near the box. Judson, pass in, blocked out by LaGrange. And Anna Wright will pick it up and look to dictate LaGrange's possession. Wright sporting a baby blue. Nice antithesis to LaGrange's black and red. And that was kicked out to midfield, where Peyton Gates awaits. Now this is Maceda. Back over to Gates. And picked off. Gates' pass was. LaGrange now on the right side. Lions defensive end, that's Kluba, going to back pass to Hannah Thompson. She's got a huge boot up to midfield near the crest. Rothwell, nice header, looking for Judson. Judson's trying to track it down. Will yield to LaGrange, but she tries a takeaway. Not to be. Crawford on the defense. Kluba now. And picked off by Kendall Anderson. But right to Hannah Thompson in goal. Thompson's boot is away, this one near midfield again. Right to Crawford. And looking for Rothwell. Put out! Shaylee, you got that? That one came about 3 feet from hitting my dome. So prayers up to me. Glad I'm okay. Gates throw in. Right to Rothwell in the corner. She's trying to track it down. And that one's going to be put out. And a goal kick for Anna Wright. Rothwell tried to put the pressure on, taken away by Wikowitz. Wikowitz in the box. Shot is no good. Defended well by the Panthers. And Kluba trying to track this one down in midfield. Lets the pass go through. LaGrange now at midfield. Will go farther in. Controlled by Judson. Judson looking for Crawford near collision. And taken away now by Wikowitz. Judson trying to track it down. Judson in the box. Judson's got a chance and a nice save. Nice dive by Anna Wright. First real opportunity for the Lions to put points on the board. Gotta love the time of possession, though. I mentioned keys to the game are going to be holding this ball, clearing it on defense, and the Lions have done that perfectly so far. LaGrange now on the left side, put out by Wells. And that one's nearly going to go out. Kluba keeps it in. Over to Rothwell now at midfield. And Gates try to track it down. Goes through the legs of Gates. Anderson passes over to Vowell. And Hannah Thompson is there in the box, preventing the Panthers from having any opportunities. That's going to be big. The Lions, have not allowed a goal, like I mentioned, since 2016 against these Panthers. They've allowed 1 goal since then. Looking to continue that trend as Wikowitz has it at midfield. Wikowitz battling for it. Some contact by Rothwell. No call. Is Judson going to put it in? Looking for Crawford, I believe, but not to be. Anna Wright picks it up. Panthers at midfield. So it's going to go out to Wells. Big clear. And it's going to be put out. The throw-in is a long one. And put out again. Another LaGrange throw-in. Good defense by Sierra Judson to shut it down. And headed up. LaGrange still with it. And that's going to be Gates trying to track it down on the sideline. She'll keep it in. And Rothwell looking to track it down. But LaGrange will elect to back pass to Wright. And Kluba now. Passes to Wikowitz. Wikowitz Looking in the middle, shot is up, and right is not there, and it's going to not slide into the back of the net. Timeout was called by the refs, and it's in. So after that mishap by Anna Wright, Wakowitz will walk away with a goal. Lions up 1-0, 10 minutes in, 11 minutes in to be exact. Wakowitz, the freshman, making a statement, and Lions up early. LaGrange looking to answer. Panther was tripped up. Looks to be Stanfill. She's okay. And set piece here for LaGrange on the Lions logo. It'll go towards the left, where Kluba awaits for a nice header. And Rothwell will have it. Excuse me, that's Brown. It is Rothwell, never mind. And Gates will look up, finds Crawford. Back to Gates. Gates has on the left side, putting the fancy moves on. Gates down towards the left. Tied up. She's got moves and tough contact against Madison Decker. No call, obviously. And I believe this will be a corner for the Lions. Set piece for the Lions, already up 1-0. 37:53 remains. Looks like they might go the short route, but Rothwell in the box. She has the size advantage in terms of height. And they will go short to Crawford. And that ball will be put out. Be a throw in for Kluba. And LaGrange effectively clears it. Kaya King, CCS Offensive Player of the Week, flying to it. Can't reach it. Throw in for the Lions here. Gates into Rothwell. Judson's got it. Judson has a breakaway. Sierra Judson into the box. And LaGrange with stellar defense to shut her down. However, Piedmont still with possession with a corner. Looks like the Lions might go with a short route again. Savannah Jerome right next to Judson, and she will yield to Kluba. Again, that short two-pronged look, but Kluba's going to go up. Ball still in the box. And LaGrange out towards the left. Charlie Hunt puts it out. Still in the Lions' possession. Another throw-in. So Lions early holding on to the ball, keeping the time of possession. It's been a key for them so far this year. They are just insane at forcing corners, forcing turnovers, just holding that time of possession, and another throw-in as Rothwell battles on the right side. Rothwell tried to pass in, but deflected by the Panthers. A swarm of Lions. However, ball was cleared out. And Judson Rothwell now at midfield looks for Gates. And Gates battling on the left side, puts out, throw in for her. Judson has some room. Shot by Judson blocked by LaGrange. And Gates now puts it up, looking for Crawford, but not to be. And there comes Kluba flying in. Judson now. Sierra Judson, back of the net. It's in. Lions up 2-0. Lions making a statement early on. 2 goals in 15 minutes. Bench is loving it. Big early lead for the Lions. LaGrange needs to find something in order to cut that deficit down a little. And we're looking for Kaya King. They know she's an offensive threat, and Piedmont definitely game plan for her, I'd imagine. If you're able to get offensive rookie or rookie of the week honors, player of the week honors, it's going to be a focal point. And LaGrange in the box. And some contact from Gates. No call. And now down the left side, trouble for the Lions. LaGrange with it on the left side. Shots up by LaGrange, but it is far right towards some spectators on the wall. I think that's the baseball team chilling out at the WEC on Wednesday. Thompson goes short, and it's going to be over to Gates. Big boot. Looking for Rothwell. Excuse me, that's Kluba. And Kluba looking for Judson. Judson trying to put on the Jets. And Judson one-on-one on the right side. And pushes it forward, leaves it in. But LaGrange's goalkeeper, Anna Wright, is there once again. She's had a busy day so far. Already 2 let through. We've said her name a lot. And if you're LaGrange defenders, you want to make that fact negated. Crawford, nice defense to force it over, but LaGrange will stay with it. Crawford on defense again. And LaGrange electing for the short passes. Lions playing a good zone, not letting them get through. Nice tackle by Gates. And it will force a Piedmont throw in. Clinical defense by Gates, and Caitlin Brown now on Madison Decker looking to take it away. And nearly reached the foot of Judson, but there comes Wickowitz. Already has 1 goal so far. And here come the Lions. Shot is up. Wright is there. Addie Banks, hometown freshman from Demarest, went to Habersham County High School, and Judson looking for it on the right side, far side if you are watching. Kaluba putting the dance moves on into Judson. And Judson tried to cut it back. It's going to be a Piedmont throw-in. Was swarmed by 2 Panthers defenders and was able to keep it in the Lions' possession. This one over to, I believe that's Wickowitz. And will be another throw-in for the Lions. So holding it on their end, LaGrange really has been out of time offensively. Lions, again, have been doing a great job clearing it. Kylan Rothwell has been playing a more offensive role this time around. Maybe Coach Timmy was looking for the height advantage to be a factor, and it definitely has been, as the Lions are up 2-0, and LaGrange will have possession with a throw-in. Big throw-in for LaGrange. We'll find it at midfield. Kendall Anderson will pass over to Kennedy Vowell. And that ball will be put out, albeit very slowly, and should be a throw-in for the Lions. Gates has pretty much taken all the Lions throw-in. She does play near the sideline. That is her position, so natural. LaGrange with a little bit of time offensively. First time that's really happened in this contest, as it's towards the pesky pole blocking the view, but I'm able to see that's going to be another throw-in for LaGrange. Kai King's going to take it. One right towards the Lions. Ball is up, but will reach the back wall. We'll roll a couple of feet up the hill, and Hannah Thompson will have it for a goal kick. Wickowitz and Judson with both goals for the Lions so far. Judson now leads the team with 6 goals. She led the team last year in goals as well. offensive menace. She can do it through shooting, dribbling, really everything. Just a huge piece that the Lions depend on for offense. Wikowitz battling at midfield. And Kluba will have it put out, and that will be a throw-in for your Piedmont Lions. Under 30 minutes now, 21:35 left. And yet another throw-in for the Lions. And wouldn't you know it, another throw-in for the Lions. If I had a dime for every time that there was a throw-in in this game, I could probably buy a gallon of gas. Banks at midfield. Big boot by Sophie Wells. Haven't said her name much today. She always seems to come up. Judson, height advantage, hits the header. Judson trying to force her way in. But Hannah Wright, there again. Hannah Wright, when she's had the chance to and hasn't been in a one-on-one with, say, Judson or Wikowitz, has been doing a decent job of coming out. LaGrange defense, aside from those two chances, haven't necessarily done a bad job. Scoreboard doesn't exactly reflect how this game is going, but it does reflect the Lions' time of possession and their ball control, as well as has it at midfield dancing on two defenders. We'll go to Kluba on the right side. We know she has wheels, and she intends to use them here. It's going to go down to Rothwell. Rothwell takes a nice angle over to get it in the corner. Rothwell dribbling was hit with an elbow. No call. Hasn't been too much physicality necessarily so far in this contest. And Wells will pass over. And it will end up by the feet of Gates. And that ball, looks like there was a call. Pardon me. Maybe on Gates. And LaGrange will have a set piece. Madison Decker puts the hand up and is ready to go. We'll go far left, quick pass over to Brianna White, and right back to Decker. Kaya King in the middle now. Kluba, nice takeaway. But good moves by LaGrange to keep it in. That one will go about 10 feet to the right of Hannah Thompson. To her left, technically, and it will be a goal kick. Lions have let a couple passes go through with the Panthers, but I got to imagine that's part of the game plan because they've taken away pretty much every opportunity they've had once they've allowed one or two passes. It's like almost like they want them to make a mistake. And Crawford trying to track it down. But it will go to midfield for LaGrange possession. King at midfield. Battling against Wikowitz, and Gates will pass to Crawford. Crawford looking for Rothwell. Rothwell defending on the left side. LaGrange keeps it in. And Rothwell will have it again, looking for Judson. Judson's got a one-on-one. Good decision by Decker to get it out of Rothwell's sight line and put it towards the sideline. And Wells will go towards midfield. And Addie Banks at midfield on two LaGrange defenders. Looking to defend, but LaGrange will stay in possession of it. LaGrange now flipping the tide a little bit, changing the way of their style, and they have been in possession of the ball a bit more recently. Maybe they've adjusted to the Lions' pace, their play style, as a nice takeaway by Wikowitz. Wikowitz going to look for Rothwell. Rothwell on the right side, has a one-on-one. Rothwell looking in, Rothwell shot blocked by Wright, and LaGrange will clear it. Kylan Rothwell had a good shot, with a one-on-one. Didn't take enough time to dribble in, didn't get a clear enough shot, and LaGrange with a good defensive possession. And Kaya King with a tough tackle. That's definitely going to be a call. King ran right into Jocelyn Maceda on the defensive end. And that will be a throw-in for the Lions. A set piece. And it's away. Short knuckler. Banks at midfield. Banks puts the moves on. Banks going down the middle. Banks looking for Judson. That's Crawford. Kluba now on the right side. Goes up. Right into the mitts of Anna Wright. Kluba looked for a snipe. Sadly, it was on a string towards Anna Wright's body. And another ball put out. Throw in for LaGrange. LaGrange still with it. Around midfield. They've stuck around that area seemingly the whole game. Lions haven't let him get into the box. I can't really say there has been an opportunity for the Panthers in the box. Hannah Thompson's job has been easy. Like I said at the top of the broadcast, she only had 3 saves against Covenant. Of course, with a clean sheet, no goals allowed. So it was an easy job for her, all things considered, as the LaGrange Panthers will go deeper into Lion territory. King on the right side. King looking for the pass. Denied. LaGrange staying persistent. Back to King. King, big boot, curving in, and it will go over the net near the shot clock. And Hannah Thompson will have another goal kick. So some substitutions now coming in. We mentioned the Lions' depth, how they intended to use said depth. We'll get you the official substitutions when we have them. Looks like Cameron Southard has checked in. This one will go to Banks. Madison Johnson is in for Allison Wickowitz, and Cameron Southard has entered for Kylan Rothwell. Those are the official substitutions. Southard, pretty good in the midfield. Madison Johnson doesn't get a lot of reps. However, she was the substitute goalie before Hannah Thompson when we saw Haley Dornan and Maggie Leger go down. And she wasn't bad by all things. She obviously had, I think, 8 goals allowed versus WashU, but WashU was the #1 team in the nation. Coach Timmy loves to get those tough opponents in the regular season for the Lions so that when they come into conference games like this, they will be prepared. They will be ready to play a opponent that is not as good. And obviously, the strategy works. Lions up 2-0 once again with 21:40 remaining. Sun's about officially gone. Sky is turning dark blue here in Demarest. Lights are on. Again, a perfect evening. It's been a perfect evening for the Lions so far. 2 beautiful goals. Their keys have been reflected. Time of possession, clearing on defense. They've played a great game, all things considered. And LaGrange with a little bit of a break. And it will go towards the box where the Lions await. King was there to pick it off, and she has room on the right side. It will go in, but right back to King. So LaGrange implementing a lot of side-to-side passes. And shot errant left. Kendall Anderson missed it off her right foot. Johnson clears him out. She'll have her goal kick. She'll go short to Sophie Wells. Wells playing in a backline defense situation. Normally we see her at midfield, so it is interesting to see that switch up as Johnson will let it go down, and Judson picks it off. Judson on the right side. She'll go in. Looking for someone. Finds Southard. Some contact near the box. Still battling for it are the Lions. Crawford and Southard looking for it. LaGrange will put it out. And it will go towards midfield. Suffocating defense from the Panthers negates the Lions' opportunity. Wells kind of let that opportunity come to fruition for the Panthers, giving them time near the box to maybe form a shot, but was able to come up in time as Hannah Thompson will boot this one high in the air, and it will find Southard. Judson over to Banks. Cleared towards the box, but flying in is Judson. And it will be a throw-in, I believe, for Piedmont. Piedmont stacking near the goal, putting a lot of bodies near that side. Cleared out by LaGrange. And missed dribble by Southard. Southard will look in. And Judson shot again. Nearly reached the back of the net. And it will go off left. Emma Bierbauer is also in this contest now. She has been subbed in. Was implemented on that play, putting a little bit of pressure on, as with Judson. Gates defending three different Panthers. Mercedes puts a body on it. Still LaGrange, unrelenting. Marissa Oliver battling in the corner for it. And it will stay in near the pesky pole. LaGrange has a bunch of bodies on the right side. Not a lot in the middle, as this one will go towards the middle. Errant kick. And Hannah Thompson is there for her first save of the day. Thompson, right place, right time. Fell on it perfectly. Lions kept their job simple. Able to keep the sight line in play. And an easy save for Hannah Thompson as the Lions look to make an offensive opportunity now. LaGrange will say, "Nuh-uh, we're going to do that. We're going to go on offense." They have had a very slow offensive game because of the Lions' strong defense. And so it's going to go out, be a Piedmont throw-in yet again. Throw-in coming with 16:42 left. Lions haven't scored in 15 minutes. They scored their first two in the first 15 minutes of the contest. So maybe it's LaGrange figuring out the offensive game plan for the Lions. Maybe it's the Lions coming up slow on offense. But I think the overarching fact here is that LaGrange has been able to possess the ball a little bit more. They've been more in sync offensively, although the passes haven't been fully coordinated. And that one now on the left side for the Panthers. Charlie Hunt trying to put the moves on. Into Thompson. She's there. Thompson, been busy last couple of minutes. She's handled it well. Obviously, Lions with a big cushion. So there is room for error, but in future games, maybe not so much. As Southard now at midfield. Tough contact by Southard. Ran into Decker, Madison Decker on that one, and she's up and okay, thankfully. And it will be a set piece. Just a short kick for the LaGrange Panthers. At midfield, it will go in. Control attempt was off, going towards Southard. Header hit straight for the ground. And Gates now battles for it at midfield. against Maltezo. Maltezo knocked over by Bierbauer. Easy call. Referees have had a pretty clean game so far, as have the players. There hasn't been too much physicality necessarily, at least not to this point in the game. And Madison Decker will have another set piece. We'll go short. And Bierbauer can't track it down, as this will roll towards the bleachers. Lions faithful liking what they're seeing. 2-0 early, and Judson with another breakaway. Judson has room. 3 LaGrange defenders on her, 2 now. Looking to put the moves on, stops and goes. On the left side near the box, shots up, and it will go off right. To Anna Wright. The goalie in blue has had a tough road. Defense hasn't been helping her out. Thus, the 2-0 deficit. LaGrange, short on their side. Picked off by Gates. Gates now, near the box. Gates with a shot. Gates goes in, and it's going to go out. Bierbauer had a shot, but not to be. Andy Wimmer has also checked into this game. LaGrange at midfield, but they'll go right back to Sophie Wells on the defensive end. Lions controlling it on defense. In other news, volleyball has taken the win. 3-1 on their senior night versus Wesleyan. Dropped the second set, but were able to rebound, and they will go home happy. And Lions women's soccer looking to do the exact same here, up 2-0. Big clear over to the backside. One's going to roll near the scorer's table. That's a tongue twister. Put that in your book. 12:30 left. Could see Sierra Judson battling for it. Breakaway for the Lions. Trying to track it down, but Wright is there. Throw in for Piedmont yet again. And we'll go into Wimmer. Sails overhead to Judson. And easy call. Looks like Johnson took a hit. And she's around the sideline looking for the throw in, and this one will be taken as she will yield. Lions spreading the line out. They've got 5 in the box if you count Wimmer, with Banks on the outskirts. Set piece is up, and it will be low. Bierbauer. But Gates now. LaGrange is able to get a foot on it as Banks has it. She'll pop it up. Judson with a shot, but good goalkeeping prowess yet again by Anna Wright to shut it down. Anna Wright's heated up a little bit. She's had a much better contest than we saw in the first 15 minutes. Hence the Lions' stagnated score. And the whistle blown. Possession will belong to the Piedmont Lions. That deep bench loving the Lions' play so far. And a big boot will go over to the right and be out of bounds. Throw in for the Panthers. LaGrange looking to push it. Kai King backs off. And here we go, Judson. Judson racing down and whistle blown. Set piece, Lions. Nine minutes, 40 seconds left. Lions looking to put up another one. Already have 2 on the board. I mentioned at the start of the broadcast they needed to put at least 2 or 3 up to feel confident. They already have 2, as looks like Maceda will take this one. Maceda high arcing. Looking for Judson. He hit Gates. And Gates tries to fall on it, but it will be put out. Goal kick for Anna Wright. So a good look. Gates just couldn't fully control it. She was moving, so it's hard to take the gas off, and LaGrange will have the ball as a result. And Banks will shut down Kai King. Kai King, obviously, CCS Offensive Player of the Week last week, but Lions offense has been much better and has denied her any opportunities. LaGrange, good takeaway. They had a 2-on-1. They used it. Kai King now battling in midfield. This one will go in now to Kendall Anderson. Anderson off to Wells. Wells hits it out to another Lion. And it will be a throw-in for LaGrange. Lions still standing strong on the defensive end. Thrown in towards the corner. King sliding down. Put out again. Another throw-in for LaGrange. Thankfully wasn't close enough to be a corner. LaGrange still... Actually, that might be a corner. No, it will stay a throw-in. Went out on the sideline, not the baseline. As I was getting to, LaGrange has not had a corner yet. And again, they won't. But LaGrange has not had a corner. Lions have not let the ball get too far down. Have kept it in their possession seemingly the entire time. We'll be interested to see if we get time of possession percentages, and that's going to be an easy call for the referee, as I believe Wickowitz, there's that Gates, was hit pretty hard. And goal kick for Hannah Thompson. Curves right. Bierbauer wins the battle. There's another tongue twister. We've got 2 to add to the book, and Bierbauer did win that battle. Was a throw-in. Judson. 2 Panthers on her. Judson putting the moves on. Goes through. Judson has options. Judson on the left. Goes to Madison Johnson and will slow down. Gates will get it as a result. Big shot by Gates. Gates right to Anna Wright. Gates had a good look. Couldn't hit the right side, that upper 90. And LaGrange will now have possession. Lions had a great opportunity there. Madison Johnson, the freshman, maybe not experienced enough to know exactly what to do in that situation. It's not always sunshine and rainbows, can't always be perfect. Lions otherwise have been playing very well today. And they'll have it again on the offensive end. This one in to Johnson. Johnson, shot by Johnson. That one's going to go in the back of the net again. Madison Johnson, how's that for redemption? 3-0 Lions. My goodness. The offensive onslaught continues for Piedmont in an important conference game. Another huge swing for the Lions. 5:58 remaining when that goal was scored. And a 3-goal lead early on. Stop and go by Kaya King. On the right sideline, she'll back pass. Put out by the Lions will be a throw-in, I believe, for the Panthers. This one's put in and put out. Another throw-in. It's been a recurring theme. Thankfully, as has offense for the Lions. Oh, big hit. Linebacker move from Charlie Hunt, dropping the shoulder. Easiest call of the official's life, probably there. Physicality backfires for the Panthers, and a set piece forthcoming for the Lions. Gates, Wimmer, Johnson, a lot of bodies back there. This one's up. It will be put in. Gates looking for it, and she'll try to get it up, and that one is going to go right by the net. Yet again, Gates caught off guard as the ball went too far. Good opportunity for the Lions again, but not to be. Morgan White on the left side will go to midfield. Picked off. And looking for it is Dodolph. Gretchen not able to track it down. Battle at midfield. Wimmer slide tackle. Lions will hold on. Moving in now. Judson. Soloing two defenders. She'll get through. Shot by Judson will go right to Anna Wright yet again. Johnson and Dodolph defending. Johnson had the goal earlier to put the Lions up 3-0 in redemption for her earlier mistake. And Dodolph defending as LaGrange will push it down. Dodolph takes it away. Slides down, no call. There's the whistle. Lions with another shot. Time ticking down, under 3 minutes now, 2:45 to be exact. Savannah Jerome will have it at the yellow line, looking to put it in the box. Lions looking for a shot to go up 4-0 going into halftime. It's away from Jerome. High in. Wright's there. And Wright yet again falling on it. Playing conservative defense, and LaGrange yet again will look to make something happen. Number 2 on number 2 as Gates playing defense. She's been tremendous today. Maceda. A little bit of contact as we got a LaGrange player down. Kendall Anderson's back up with a slight limp. Hopefully she's okay. Lions trying to salt the final minutes of this one away. Breakaway, Dodolph trying to track it down, but LaGrange has speed. Decker puts it out, but it goes right back to Gates. Gates with a shot now. Gates down the left side. Right out. Lions taking their time here. 80 seconds left in the first half, looking to take the final possession. Judson and Gates talking things over. And here we go. Final minute. Judson with the corner. Lions haven't exactly taken the high route. They've gone short seemingly every time. They will again to Gates. And this one right out. Maybe a miscommunication, mishit by Gates. No issue. LaGrange, ample time to try and score. Gates, another takeaway. She's got it again on the left side. Peyton Gates looking in towards the box. Peyton Gates. And good defense by Decker to put it out. Lions still have a shot. 25 seconds remaining. Bench saying get it in. 15 seconds now. Time ticking down. Lions in the box, stacking it up. And Adolph will run in. And it will be cleared by LaGrange. Final 5 seconds. Kaya King will let it go through. And that concludes the first half. Lions offensive masterclass, to say the least. 3-0. Goals by Johnson, Judson. Just a beautiful offensive showing overall. 3-goal lead for the Lions. Good time of possession, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast. Key players, Kaluba has been fairly quiet, but thankfully, players like Judson have been able to back her up. My partner Eric Edmondson will be joining us for the second half of the broadcast. He was busy doing volleyball, did a great job of covering the win. For now, though, get whatever you need to. Get a snack, get something to eat, take a break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. You are listening and watching to Piedmont University Soccer on YouTube. Lions fans, welcome back to the Walker Athletic Complex on this Wednesday evening. Grant Prather now joined by Eric Edmondson at my side, Shaylee Gallegos on the camera. Lions, huge offensive showing in the first half, put 3 goals up, most beautifully by Madison Johnson and Sierra Judson, and just made a statement. Eric, obviously you couldn't be here for the first half, but in short summary, the Lions played flawlessly. There really wasn't any holes to their game. They had just amazing time of possession, which is a thing I keyed in on.
Absolutely, and the Lions came into this game, I was following along, the Lions came into this game knowing that this is going to be an aggressive contest between LaGrange. Look, there's no love lost between these two teams. We can say that. LaGrange comes in with a lot of tenacity. Lions are tenacious in their own right, and they're very sturdy and strong. They're not going to give up. They're not going to give you a lot, and they showed it here. I did figure that LaGrange would come out with a little bit more heat, but it seems like the Lions have really doused that fire. They have put a cold bucket of water on whatever LaGrange might have thought about coming in.
Yeah, LaGrange just, in short summary, completely taken aback and caught off guard. Lions came out hot like they usually do, really showed the potential of this team. That offense was clicking. Judson did her job. Kluba was somewhat silent because she does play on that wing area. Lions kept it in the middle and those efficient box attempts. Hannah Thompson had a pretty easy road, all things considered. Didn't really have too much pressure put on her. If you were Coach Timmy in this situation, Eric, what are you telling your girls?
Hey, no need to change anything. Let's keep rolling. I mean, it's great that you got Madison Johnson back up there. Madison did a fantastic job of cluing in and staying the course as the goalkeeper for the Lions for the long term. But now you have a goalkeeper back there who's very sure-handed. So keep doing what you're doing. Trust your goalkeeper, trust your defense. You don't have to try as hard on defense as you would when you're protecting Johnson, but you still want to keep that defense very strong.
Absolutely. It was definitely strong in that first half, so don't need to change much. And already Kluba coming out flying on defense. Jerome, big put out, throw in LaGrange. Rothwell at midfield, trying to defend, but it will let it through, and it's going to go out again. This time, throw in Piedmont. Another theme I mentioned in the first half, Eric, was a lot of throw-ins. The ball was being played a lot on that sideline, so it could be a theme to maybe key in on and look for second half. LaGrange this half, going to go from your right to your left on your screen. Obviously reversing what it was in the first half. And they have it down early. Kaya Banks, CCS Offensive Player of the Week. Has been quiet. Lions have shut her down. LaGrange now in the box. And Sophie Wells playing that back line will put it out. Throw in for the Panthers.
I like that idea by Sophie. It doesn't show a lot of urgency to try to clear it back upfield. It shows what she knows she can do and gives the defense a lot of time to reset here.
That back line, not too much of a familiar spot, at least from what we've seen from her this year. Normally she plays more midfield, but having Judson in that midfield primarily has really worked for the Lions. As Banks will look up towards Rothwell. LaGrange with the takeaway, though. And they're going to bring it into the box with some nice passing. Jerome on the left side. Kluba now defending. LaGrange struggling as of recent, especially in that first half too, to push the ball down. It's been a lot of side-to-side passing. Haven't really been able to get deep in the box as that one's cleared out. And Judson tried to have a breakaway, but too close to the sideline to be put out. Throw in forthcoming. It's going to go into the corner. Lions looking to push it into the box, but LaGrange almost able to clear it. Big shot. Looking for the snipe, but as she has been, LaGrange goalie is there. Anna Wright, when she's had an opportunity to react at least, has been pretty good. Lions obviously have had 3 very powerful shots that she just hasn't had a shot to defend. Lions suffocating defense. Kluba clears it. Looking down, and Wright is yet again there. And it's rolled on the ground as the Lions are looking to take it away again. LaGrange, now with a shot, has numbers on the left side. Right side, excuse me. It goes in now. Vowel. Go towards midfield. And popped up by Wells. Crawford trying to control. And Judson over to Kluba. Good connection. Two huge pieces as Judson now. Down the middle. Will go over. And popped up. Wright is there again. LaGrange wasting no time trying to push it down. That's an issue they've had, is speed to their attacks as they're looking to reverse those hopes here. Kai King puts it up towards the middle. Not able to clear it. Hannah Thompson dives on it. An effective save by Thompson to save an opportunity for the Panthers. Eric, interesting thing about today, if you're tuning in and you haven't heard this yet, today is Mental Health Awareness Day, which is the reason why those green socks are being worn by the Lions. Such an important part of an athlete's game.
Absolutely, and it's unfortunately something that I don't think was looked into up until in the past 20 years or so, as we see a foul go Piedmont's way. We've seen it a lot here recently. Of course, up at Piedmont, we care a lot about mental health. And how it affects our athletes and really affects the student body. And thankfully, a good job by the ladies today. I'm not sure who coordinated initially, but good job to have this mental health night because it is very important. I mean, you can be as physically strong as you can be, but if your mental state isn't as strong, please reach out. Please find someone to talk with because, I mean, it's important. It's better when you're here.
Exactly. Coach Timmy, I mentioned, is huge on the importance of mental health. There are free counseling services on Piedmont's campus. It's a great benefit for students and athletes alike. And Piedmont still holding onto the ball. They've had a pretty long possession as they've got it now in the box. Ooh, turned around. And LaGrange not able to clear it yet. Still in the box. Saved by Wright. Lions clustering up that box. Obviously, so far in the second half, haven't been able to capitalize yet, but you saw they were able to in the first half. And LaGrange now looking to push the tempo. Sims in the corner. Good defense by the Lions to get it out. Wells. Crawford heads it out. Throw in for the Panthers. Panthers have somewhat flipped possession, at least improved on possession time as it was in the first half. Lions just controlled the tempo the entire time. And Wells pushed down, easy call, Lions possession.
And that's something that you can afford to do when you go up 3-0. When you're able to build that kind of sizable lead, you can afford to maybe not be as aggressive as you have to be on offense. Now, the Lions are letting LaGrange play a little bit more back in their defenses than I'm sure they would want. They haven't really had an active midfield to this point in the second half, so I'm sure they're going to look to strengthen that because there's been a lot of penetration, a lot of through balls by LaGrange to find their way to the back line.
Lions don't really need to play keep away, but that lead is definitely reassuring. Like we said, this was scheduled to be a pretty tough game, but Lions just came out firing in that first half and cemented a huge lead. And LaGrange again with a decent shot. Ball near the crest. LaGrange looking to push it. Banks defending. Poked away. And it'll go up. Kick down the left sideline. It's going to stay in. Lions flying in with a break opportunity. LaGrange clears it. Popped over, going towards Wells. Wells, risky move to let the LaGrange Panther go in, as Kluba now with it. Kluba, big look down towards Rothwell. And a little bit of contact. This one's going to go over towards the corner and be a corner.
I think it's interesting tonight. You've seen Coach Timmy kind of deploy his players in a different position. You know, we've praised Kylan Rothwell's defense all season long. Kylan finds herself at the tip of the spear here in the second half, and it just goes to show how, I don't want to call it unorthodox, but how unpredictable this offense and this Lions team can be, because everyone is capable of scoring the big one. Everyone is capable of beating you in a one-on-one. It doesn't matter where they're on the pitch. It just depends on what situation these players are being put in.
And although Rothwell hasn't obviously put a goal up on the scoreboard yet, she's been a key part of the setup for those goals. So good job by Coach Timmy to really mix up, like you said, those lineups, those formations, and give everyone an opportunity to play a different role, see how those works. At this point in the game, obviously being up 3 goals, it is a good time to test out things like that. As a foul call on LaGrange, it's a good time to test out things like that, see how you want to go into conference play, the tournament. The game against Maryville, Senior Day on Friday, going to be a big one. Jerome looking to boot this one away. Big boot over towards the middle. Caitlin Brown got hit pretty hard on that one. She's all right. LaGrange in transition. And back towards Hannah Thompson. He didn't really expect the Lions to push the bill too much coming out of the half with that big lead, and it really hasn't been the case so far, Eric. Do you think that's a game planning issue, or is it intentional?
Oh, it's completely intentional. I mean, the Lions, like I said, I mean, there's not, of course, you want to put up one, you want to continue to score, but it's not paramount, right? Especially with 3-0. If it was maybe 2-0, sure. But you score 3 goals, especially with how strong the defense has been, you're not sweating a lot. Now, does that mean the defense can get lax? Absolutely not. Does that mean the offense can get lax? No. But you're not going to maybe push the buttons that you would necessarily to score a goal as you would in maybe a 0-0 or a 1-0 game.
Yeah, like you said, the last thing you want to do is give your defense too much confidence and let them back off too much, because that can at least cause future confidence issues and obviously a result on the scoreboard. But Lions, obviously, potent offense is a good word for it, and 3 goals in the first half. They can obviously score more in the second, but the game plan is definitely to back off a little bit and just cement it away. Whistle called, and it will be LaGrange possession. About 12 minutes in now, as LaGrange looking to kick it away. Line drive, knuckleball will go right to Savannah Jerome. Fitzpatrick at midfield. Fitzpatrick was tied at the start of this game before Judson took it over, but was tied for first on the team in goals, now tied with Paige Kluba for second. She's had a good string of games where she was able to put points on the board, and I like Coach Timmy putting her in now to get some offensive reps.
Yeah, man, oh man, what the Rook has done. I mean, Fitzpatrick has been, this is a squad with not too many graduating seniors per se, but this is a squad that has a lot of key seniors that are not going to be here next year. So having Fitzpatrick there waiting in the wings to be another offensive weapon, and just that's just the beauty of recruiting. It's a great job by recruitment to continue to bring these players into such talented players, get them to Piedmont. and it's a mark on the university as well, because the sports can be great, but how's your academics? Especially in D3, you're focusing on academics more than anything. So it's just it's a mark on a good university system, and it's a good mark on an athletic system.
Definitely, and I mean, talking about recruiting, if you look at this Lions roster, there are people from everywhere around the country, not just Georgia. The recruiting job is so good from, I mean, you could call it the front office. It's a college, but you could call it a front office, and the team gels so well with huge depth coming from all over.
Absolutely. Judson from Connecticut, Fitzpatrick from Macon, Florida, Jocelyn Maceda's home. And absolutely, it's just a mark on how good and how far expanding you can be.
This women's soccer organization has just been really, really good, I guess for lack of a better word, recently, as Wimmer trying to track this one down. But goalie's right there, and they've just played really, really well. I mentioned against LaGrange, at least, they were 29-2 with a 20-game win streak. So consistency has been a big part of Coach Timmy's tenure for this university. And Wright boots it up towards midfield, near the crest, where Paige Kluba awaits. And Judson trying to make something happen in midfield. Lions offense has somewhat slowed down as we keep coming back to, but again, part of the game plan. Another boot by Wright, this one's shorter, right to Rothwell. And Panthers haven't really moved with a sense of urgency. You think when you're down 3 goals, that might be something you have to implement, but it hasn't really happened so far. Throw in. Headed out by LaGrange near the pole. And a low, clear attempt is controlled. Grange pushing it downfield now. Brown, good defense. Put up and right over to Hannah Thompson, but she'll let it go as Jerome's going to have to track it down, and she'll put it out. On the left side will be a throw-in now for the Panthers. Just about the farthest down they've gotten so far. Lions defense has been suffocating.
And just how quickly it turns over. Wimmer's going to take this ball down and might see a foul there, no call. Anyway, Paige Kluba immediately was able to spring to action. Just go ahead and put that over midfield line. And it just goes to show how quick striking this defense is and how real of a player this team's going to be come tournament time.
Exactly. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast some keys to the game, and time of possession was one. Check mark there. Clearing on defense, big check mark there, and staying consistent, big check mark there. 3 goals. Everything the Lions needed to do to walk in and win this contest has happened. Need a perfect evening. Little scuffle put out, and it will be in possession of the Lions again. And Panthers now have it after a lot of bodies were up to get that one. And they'll look up towards the box, headed up by Banks. And whistle called. Foul called. And LaGrange will have possession. That foul was against Piedmont. LaGrange now will have a decent opportunity for the first time in seemingly forever to maybe try and put one up. Lions defense, along with Hannah Thompson, have been scary, to say the least. They've really gotten in LaGrange's head. You can kind of see LaGrange just slow on offense, not in sync, but looking to maybe change their hopes here. Charlie Hunt will take it. Panthers are ready, as are the Lions. Back line, you'll see Gates, Jerome, Wells, with Judson near the box on the circle. Not sure what's taking so long.
Referee's booking something in his book. That's what the delay is for. Seems to be good now.
Yeah. And there we go. Booted up with the left. And that one just off to the right. Good cluster up by the Lions defense to get it out.
It was good deflection, too. A good track by Hannah Johnson. She would have been able to get that one, but, that it just well out. It will be a corner kick for LaGrange, though, so not out of the woods yet.
Yeah. First corner for the Panthers today, I think. It's just been a slow day and first real chance for the Lions to have to stand up defensively. Good English on that one for it to curve in, and it's up and out. Again, Thompson's job easy. Goal kick for Thompson with 27-25 left in the second half. Lions up 3-0. It's away from Thompson. Line drive. And Banks is going to look for Gates on the far side. Again, Lions attack goes straight down the pitch as Wimmer trying to track it down. Wimmer on a one-on-one. And it's going to be put out. Physical play by Wimmer. Forced it to go out. And Lions ball. Going to be yet another throw-in, I believe, for the Lions. It's near that hill that we normally see the, I guess, heralded front flip play. Not to be this time. Lions on the far side in the corner. It's up to the left, and it will go back behind the net. Offense sputters out, and LaGrange will look to flip the tempo. And a right, takes your time, goes over left. Whistle was called again by the ref, however. Never mind, there we go. And LaGrange going side to side. Lions maybe looking to take it away defensively. They've done a good job today of catching LaGrange on their back foot, catching them off guard. It's been a lot of the reason why they've had those quick goals. It's been a lot of stop-and-go tempo, not so much getting it down. It's been due to them getting it down quickly, but that's been the recipe for success today. LaGrange, granted the throw-in, went out on Piedmont. Decker will take the throw-in right near the Piedmont bench. Bench hasn't had as many opportunities this second half to turn up like we know they can. Electric atmosphere on that bench in the first half. The atmosphere is going to be electric post-game. You got to know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a fun game, all things considered. Going into, you got to think, the most serious game of the year on Friday. Obviously, it's your senior day, so it might not be as serious, but against a very serious opponent. An undefeated Maryville, that's going to be a corner, or maybe not for the Lions.
And like you said, Grant, Maryville's a threat. They're the team to beat. They're undefeated in the conference, right? And that's what. And if you're playing for seeding right now, which Piedmont is, that draw versus Covenant really hurts. And that loss to Asbury in Asbury, where you felt like you could have won that also really hurts. Lions did have a real chance to not go undefeated, but I mean every chance that they've had and every draw and loss, which they've had a draw and a loss, they felt like they had an opportunity to score. The Covenant game was a great game, usually is between those two squads, and in Asbury, against an unfamiliar CCS opponent, maybe you were caught off guard a little bit, but I still I believe the Lady Lions would tell you this as well. I feel like you should have won that game, especially when you put up two, especially when you know how strong your defense is. Unfortunately, you just let a couple more past.
Yeah, Asbury 2-3 loss. Definitely unfortunate, like you mentioned. The tie at Covenant was important. It wasn't what you wanted, but at least it keeps you tied 4-1-1, as is Covenant. So that loss at Asbury obviously puts them below instead of them being 5-0-1. So if they are able to salt the rest of this game away and walk away with a W, that will be huge going into that game versus Maryville. As Kluba looking to put another one up on the right side. So it's going to go into Wimmer, but LaGrange ahead of her. And Brown, Kluba trying to track it down. Whistle called. And that's going to be a foul on Piedmont.
Great turnout here at the WAC this evening. I can't imagine the turnout for Senior Day here in just a couple days. Even men's soccer has popped down to see what's up. They're over there on the brick wall. Saw a lot of attendance, great attendance in the Cave Arena tonight for volleyball's Senior Day, their senior festivities. Again, they beat Wesleyan 3-1. Had a couple of athletic teams show up there, including men's soccer.
And back of the net, right on cue. Lions up 4-0. Statement goal. Probably the nail in the coffin. And that bench is turned up yet again.
That's exactly what you look for from the Lions. I mean, when they're able to find Kaling or Crawford able to get that one through, and that's what you look for the Lions. They're able to make those sequences of passes in the box that was very coordinated. That's something that we haven't necessarily seen a lot of this season, but it's something that you definitely appreciate.
And the Lions with another shot here as they'll go down as Gates into the box again. Gates puts it up, blocked off by LaGrange. Exactly what you look for. Like you said, that's been the goal to get goals today, I should say, has been getting it to the middle of the box to kind of get your bearings and figure out where you want to put it. All of the Lions' goals have come from right around that end line of the box. It's an efficient way to score. It's a fun way to score, not only that, because the goals look good on video for sure. We've seen all 4 goals have just been beautiful by the Lions. And LaGrange is going to have a set piece.
No such thing as an ugly goal. No such thing as an ugly goal. Except maybe when it's on the other team.
Exactly. I like that. I like that analogy. Trying to track it down is Jerome. Over to the freshman Banks. Banks breaks through in the midfield. Banks got LaGrange defenders draped over her. And LaGrange will get it back to midfield. LaGrange in an open field. Kai King dancing her way around. Lions trying to defend. And Banks with a good shot to clear. Over to Dodolph. Lions have really kept that back line solid, not allowing anything to get through. Haven't really taken the bait that LaGrange has been throwing at them. They've been standing strong.
And they're able to clear effectively. And you mentioned multiple times, this is one of your keys to the game, Grant. They've been able to clear so well and set themselves up for chances. And
I mentioned top of the broadcast, I believed that Kylan Rothwell was going to be one of the big players in clearing it. But as we mentioned, those different looks by Coach Timmy have negated that. But the rest of the Lions have been able to step up and do that. And Lions will stay in possession. As either Crawford or Dodolph, it will be Dodolph, will throw this in. Throw-in comes as we tick under 20 minutes left in this contest. Lions have that many minutes to salt it away and walk home happy. This has been really good momentum game, as I keep coming back to get into those conference matchups. And I also mentioned that Coach Timmy, because you and I called the game against Wash U, the number 1 team in the nation, Coach Timmy loves to schedule those tough non-conference games so his squad can come into games like this and put up performances like this.
And if it wasn't for the unfortunate injury of the Lions keeper there, Would it have been a win for the Lions? No, they didn't score a goal. However, at 10-0, that is not reflective at all of how the Lions played that afternoon. The defense looked solid, apart from some bad looks where you just get beaten by a better team. It happens. But that's exactly why you schedule them. You see how your defense can hold up against great teams, and scheduling WashU was huge. I think this Lions squad is really ready to go into the tournament, and that's why that you saw the skill and the prowess that you saw against Asbury and Covenant. Those weren't necessarily bad losses and a bad draw. It's just one that got away, right? And you can look at those in your circle and say, man, that one got away. But, I mean, you competed. You were competitive in that game.
Definitely. I mean, total margin of -1 in those two games. Definitely games they could have won, like you said. But games like that really, God, they want to make you win more, obviously, and that's really been the motivation today, I'd say. I also think this late in the season, you can really see the team starting to come together. You can see those offensive connections starting to form, and it's came to fruition today.
I like that, Grant. I like that. Those games that you lose make you want to win more. I really like that because it's exactly true. You wouldn't lose those frustrating ones, but you don't come out dejected. You come out, man, I can't wait to get back on the field. Puts a fire
in you for sure. You you don't want to lose again. There's no way you can let yourself lose again. And the immediate option for the Lions to score was used early on, and it made a statement. I think this game is a great statement to future play and a good showcase for how we know these pieces can connect. As we're seeing a lot of just back and forth ball recently. It's since that last Lions goal by Crawford, it's been slow, salting away, playing keep away, and just trying to move the minutes away. There's nothing else to say about that, really. Banks at midfield. And Brown near the crest will go over to the left side, far side, right over by the scorers table. Good moves. Bench is fired up. But now, Lions face the threat of Kai King. King shot up, way above the net on the right side. Goal kick for Hannah Thompson.
Kai King has tried everything, man. She has tried everything this evening, and she is the best offensive player on this LaGrange squad, and it's showing. That's why she's always on the breakaway. It's just no one's there to be able to back her up, and that's a huge credit to the Lions defense again.
And big strategy game, I think, coming from the Lions defense. If effectively shut her down, and it's because they're not forcing any action. They're not giving her those one-on-ones that she has thrived in the rest of this season. Again, Offensive Player of the Week honors last week for her great performance. So Lions' game plan has been flawless against her. LaGrange, another throw-in. Near the stands, like you said, good turnout. We saw, is it one and only or two and only if I mention Joe and Matt? Joe Dennis, beloved Mass Comm and Sports Comm professor here. Matt Kudrowski, Piedmont alum. Those of you who have watched us through the years know his name very well. He's done great on broadcast, done great on 98.7 Roar Radio, student-run radio station. So good to see two icons back. Came up to say hi. On senior night, too, volleyball, they did a good job.
Absolutely, yeah. It was important for the seniors to go out and show out in that game, and they certainly did. I mean, Bryn White, Jessica Sconyers, and Vanessa Manzo were all huge proponents of that win.
It's the beauty of this school, I think, is diversity of sports. You have so many athletic programs, and the student body is what I think the number now is somewhere around 60% of athletes to non-athletes. Obviously, you and I are not athletes. We're NARPs, as they say, non-athletic random people. Huh. But have you ever heard that phrase before?
No, I feel that doesn't feel good.
Yep, it's.
I don't like that.
I first heard that phrase from she was on a lacrosse broadcast last year. Gigi Malik. She first used that phrase, and I mean it stuck with me. I think it has a good ring to it.
I'm very involved in sports. I feel like I'm at least adjacent to the athletic department. It's rude.
Hopefully the non-athletic just means not on an athletic team.
I don't know, Grant. I don't know about that. I don't know if you've seen me run.
I don't know. I mean, you got a mean slider in wiffle ball.
I do
That's
have a mean
lethal.
slider. Yep.
But yeah, the student body here at Piedmont is very athlete-based, and it's a huge proponent of this school. A lot of the reason why people come here is due to the athletics. The teams, I mean, their bonding is insane due to that. Really the main, I think, pull to this university is athletics, obviously, and we're seeing it in full play here. Set piece from midfield. It's a high one. Going to go up right to right, and she's able to fall on it for a good save. Baby Blue's going to go over to the right. And a little bit of trouble for the Lions, but put out LaGrange now with a little breakaway. Jerome will put it out towards the sideline in the bleachers. Throw in for LaGrange. Morgan White did not start in this one, but she's been pretty active today, realistically. Banks on the sideline. Nice boot right over to Hannah Thompson. Lions looking to push it. 13 minutes left. Maybe trying to get one more confidence goal in on the board. A 5 spot would be amazing, all things considered, Eric.
It definitely wouldn't be a big confidence goal. But you don't want to get too caught up in your confidence, right? I mean, I like this move by Coach Timmy, subbing in some new players, getting the other players some rests underneath their legs now. And you don't want to say, hey, we just scored 5 goals against this team, and then go in against Maryville with your head too big to count. It's a tough act, not getting too high and too low as an athlete.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is think the Maryville game is going to end up like this. Like we said, they're undefeated in conference, so you don't want to walk into that with the mindset of, oh, we're going to do the exact same thing we did against LaGrange, but you want to come out with the same energy that the Lions did in the first half. As they'll have it in midfield, near the box. And it will be cleared. LaGrange will have possession now as Charlie Hunt with it. And Jerome, short pass to the newly entered. That's Victoria Sierra there. It is. Some back passing being implemented by the Lions, trying to tick down the minutes. But now a switch up. Going to look to push it in. Errant pass will be out. And I believe that will be LaGrange ball. Couldn't exactly see who it hit out. That pole was in the way, as it always is. Goal kick. Wright will give it up. And LaGrange on the ground towards the middle. Lions defense again showing out, doing a good job of preventing any sort of attack attempt by the Panthers. Panthers, I didn't see any time possession stats yet, but you got to think it's below at least 40 for the Panthers. That Lions have really controlled the tempo, and that's the reason why they've been able to dictate their opportunities and leave LaGrange with none, as this one's going to roll out in the corner. And another substitution here. Looks like the Dolph is going to come out. Either way, LaGrange with possession. taking a tumble. Bierbauer. Excuse me, that's Hannah Johnson. And the Lions' recipe here is just to keep the ball at midfield. Nothing crazy. Don't take any risks. And that one's going to go right to right. But no pushing the tempo. You want to play this conservative.
Mm-hmm.
That's Tristan Hunt on the side. Near single digits left. 10 minutes ticking down. Lions up 4-0. I said it before the halftime break. Offensive masterclass, nothing short of it. Tough tumble. Back up. Put out. Lions ball.
The Lions trying their best to make sure they sub in everybody here in the last couple minutes. Just get everybody a breather, get everybody some really important conference minutes. Because as we mentioned, this is a young team. There are a lot of young players on this Lions squad, and they're getting a real chance to play here.
It's always good to get up early and, like you said, have those freshmen, the freshies, get an opportunity, and especially in conference play, it's good to get those early reps because you want to have a good future set up for you. And Coach Timmy definitely has that. A lot of great freshmen, Rothwell, Brown, great defenders. As this one's going to go right on down to Wells, but great to see a future for the Lions. And we mentioned they don't have a lot of seniors, so next year will also be good. Looking forward to that. You don't want to look too far. Got to focus on the present, but good to see that. Hunt rocking 51. Unique number at the crest. Lions depth makes it tough to reserve the numbers that you want. So 51, it's got an interesting ring to it. It's very unique, I got to say.
Yeah.
And Sierra will go over to Caitlin Brown. Right close to the booth, right side. And good takeaway by LaGrange as Brown not trying to get it back. And LaGrange will go down now. Decent chance. Right again to Hannah Thompson, and her job gets easier and easier.
Yeah, more the clock ticks down, the more LaGrange is going to try their best to start sending it from any point on the pitch. And, I mean, as long as Thompson can, well scout it, it's not going to be too much of a threat.
Yeah, LaGrange offense, really hasn't been there. Their defense has been all right. 4 goals doesn't totally reflect it, but their offense just hasn't been there. They look slow. They look out of sync, I guess is a really big term. There's been moments where they've had tippy-tap passes that have gone for a little bit of field position advantage, but that's about it. Brown at midfield. And this one's going to be stopped by Bierbauer, I believe. Slid down, foul called. Good call by the referee. Bierbauer took a little tumble. Lions possession as a result. Thompson, a little hesitation, but we'll still boot it away past midfield this time. And LaGrange, big clear. LaGrange's touches have been extremely unfortunate. That's been a big reason why they haven't been able to push the tempo and get good offensive possessions. As we just saw there, is now the Lions looking down as Hunt will knock over a defender. That was just due to her kick for the ball, and that one's going to go out and be a goal kick for right.
And that's something that can completely kill a rally or kill a drive is a bad touch. A good cross, and if you can't get a good touch on it, it rolls away from you. It really slows your momentum and causes the opposing defense to really fill up whatever area you're about to contend with.
And also it gives that defense confidence because they know they can make takeaways. The clears have been there for the Panthers. It's just those final touches, the finesse part, the important parts of the game that you work on in warm-ups really have been irrelevant. Final 6 minutes as Wright has yet another goal kick. She's had a lot of those today. She's gone short in a lot of them. Maybe that leg's getting a bit tired. She's been busy. And poked away by the Lions. Thankfully for Wright, it'll go directly back to her. She'll have another one. This time it goes high, big boot towards midfield. And Brown heads it up. LaGrange looking to make a breakaway. Another takeaway by the Lions. Bierbauer this time stepping in to get it. She'll look to push it down, but it'll be put out towards the left side and be LaGrange ball. Short throw in towards midfield right at the line. Out again, right towards the scorer's table as the arm comes out from a student worker.
I'm about to say, who made that? I think that was Reed.
It looks like, yeah, Reed Barnes.
Reed made that crab.
Saving Davis Barlow, beloved.
Yep, the beloved Davis Barlow, the helpless Davis Barlow. That ball was coming right at him.
Give Reed overtime for that. Give him some extra money. He deserves it. He deserves it. He saved maybe a black eye shiner for Davis. And Selena Duenas, first time we've said her name today, number 38, the freshman. We talked about recruiting and how far these players have came from. Duenas all the way from California, other side of the nation. And that ball is going to roll out.
It's stories like, and it's players like Duenas that wonder, how'd you get here?
How'd you end up in Demarest?
Exactly. You know, we have a couple international players on our squads, and Christopher Belen comes to mind for men's soccer. He's from Switzerland, Big Swiss. It just comes to mind, like, how'd you get here? What did you do to get here? Or who got in communication with you? And again, it's just the long arm of recruiting comes to find you.
Foul called on Brown. Arms came up from Brown. She was questioning it, but I don't really think there was much question there. It was a clean bump. Yeah.
Like, you know, yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's a whatever call. You just accept that. There's no arguing with that. But you're not mad about it. That wasn't anything crazy. No cards pulled. It's been a fairly clean played game as the kick's up by Decker. Good arc. But a nice header. By Caruso, I believe that is. And Spitzer falls down. First time we said her name. Lots of subs. Very young lineup in. A lot of freshmen on, I think. Let's see. Brown's a freshman. Bierbauer's a freshman. Duenas is a freshman. Spitzer's a freshman. Johnson's a freshman. I believe this entire lineup.
With exception of Hannah Thompson.
Obviously, yeah, because you have to have 11 out.
Is that Judson still out there?
Hard to see the numbers under the lights.
It is 3-3.
Yeah. Pretty sure Thompson and Judson are the only ones who aren't. There's 11 players in the pitch at all times, so I believe there's 9 total freshmen on this roster anyway. Maybe there's more than that. I'm probably wrong about that, but
come on, Grant.
There's so much depth, Eric. This team is so deep. It's a great issue to have. Thankfully, Lions today have had no issues. This is like, I really can't sing their praises enough. This has been almost a perfect game as we near 2 minutes left. What do you take with you going into the Maryville game on Friday?
I think you take the first 3 goals. I think you take your first half with you, or maybe even just your first 2. The fact that you were able to come out with a punch in the first, because the first 2 goals were really, really early for Piedmont. So the fact that you were able to jump on a defense that quickly, the fact that you were able to develop that game plan and execute it at early, really, I think takes you far, because it tells you, okay, game planning's working. Okay, the offense is working. Those 2 things, it shows me that this is an explosive offense. It shows me that you can go at any time. It also shows me that what you're doing behind the scenes, not on the pitch, is working. And that's exactly what you need come playoff time.
Yeah, 2 goals in the first 15 minutes. Lions came out, made a statement. Offense was clicking. It's good to see that this late in the season, that there's not been any issues so far. They've had their struggles throughout the season, to say the least. There's been those tough games, like we mentioned, Asbury, the tie at Covenant. So there's been games you want to win, but coming in tonight on a Wednesday night of all days to come in and win and get a great momentum day going into Friday against Maryville is huge. Final minute, I should say. Ticking down, 52 seconds left. LaGrange with it, looking to force some sort of miracle, and no call at this point of the game. Look, that was a call. That was a push. We saw the outstretched arm. At this point in the game, I mean, is there a point in calling that?
No, that's a little bit of a rough one.
Thankfully, it wasn't too rough.
Thankfully, there was no injury or no tough fall, because if that was, then you don't want to get your licks in when the final minute's ticking.
Yeah, that statement shove, to say the least. He said not taking a tough fall. LaGrange takes the tough fall today as Thompson will salt it away. Final 10 seconds. This ball is going to roll out. Lions are going to walk away on Wednesday from the WAC with a 4-0 win. Big statement. 3 goals in the first half, 2 coming in the first 15 minutes. Played tremendously, Eric.
Absolutely. I mean, look, you didn't play around. You came here ready to win. I mean, there was no like, okay, we're gonna spar back and forth for a little bit. Okay, you're gonna block my shot. I'm gonna block your. No, Lions came out and said, no, we're not having none of that. We're gonna put this away. We have more pressing matters at hand. We have Maryville ready to come into our house. We have way more important battles to fight than right now on this Wednesday.
Strictly business from the Lions. Perfect job to come in, play great offense, great defense. Hannah Thompson had an easy road. The sure-handed goalies stepping in for, obviously, Haley Dornan and Maggie Leger. They're watching from the bench. We're watching from the booth, and we watched a good one. Lions will take the win 4-0. Looking forward, obviously, Maryville on Friday. Senior day here at the WAC. Game will be played at 6:30 in the evening. After that, first round of the CCS playoff tournament comes on November 2nd, semifinals on the 5th, and we'll see how that road goes from there. Lions obviously looking for another conference championship to keep their legacy alive.
And the Lions should host, if I'm not mistaken, they should host at least the first round of the playoffs. And I believe if they beat Maryville, they host a second round. Don't quote me on that. They might, or a Covenant loss, they host the second round.
There's going to be a lot of outcomes for sure. Obviously, Piedmont moving to 5-1-1 now. I'm not sure if Covenant played tonight. We'll eventually figure that out, especially on Friday. But for now, a good win, something you take with you. Again, Lions 4-0 statement game. For the amazing athletic communications crew, Daniel Percival, Joseph Garwood, Davis Barlow here at Piedmont University. Eric Edmondson with me on mic, Shaylee Gallegos on camera. Signing off, saying have a good evening, have a good Wednesday, good weekend when it comes to it. And as always, go Lions.